I'm saying let's go. You're saying maybe.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Quinton.
I am MJ.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Today we're just disclaimer right off the bat, there will be spoilers because we cannot talk about this movie without spoilers.
We tried and it just turned out horrible.
Yeah, we had to redo it, yeah.
This is our fourth time. I'm going to tell him. Fourth time.
But you only know about the one. So we're talking about Scream 6. That is the movie that we're doing today. As our resident Scream fan who is addicted to it.
I forgot the picture, so I'm going to be right back quick.
There's a picture. Oh, look, there's a... No, he's getting a picture. Oh.
I originally was going to start it with this.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was going to be like, oh look, because we don't have any masks. Yeah, I wanted to show them because yes, I am a big Scream fan, big Ghostface fan. It's beautiful work of art. Anyway, go on.
You good now?
Over it.
Okay. So with our Scream fan being here, we thought, why not do Scream 6 since it just came out recently. March 17th or something like
March
that.
March 10th.
Yeah, because when you watch this in the future, it's like already on digital download. You probably have it on your phone already. But yeah, so the characters, let's go. Like the way they did it, I enjoyed. Like they brought back. I like the way they did the transition. Like I totally jumped completely out the car, but whatever. So I like the way. So in 5, you still had Sydney, you had Courtney, you had David Arquette, and you had all them. With 6, they literally passed the baton. Like you could literally see them pass the baton. Like finally, like that's what they should have in the 5th one.
Well, I mean, in the 5th one they did, except they just have the characters still in the movie. That's the whole thing.
Like I felt like the way they did like this one was better because they talked about Sydney without showing her. That way she's not the star of the movie.
Right.
Because it passes on to Sam, and who's played by Melissa Barrera.
Yeah, I believe that's how you pronounce it.
We're gonna go with that. Someone will correct us, I'm sure. But it's played by Melissa, which she's the new Sydney, basically. But the twist to it is that Sam has a sister, Tara, who is played by the wonderful...
amazing Jenna Ortega! This bitch, I love her,
Yes. And I'm not gonna lie, I had no clue who she was until I watched Wednesday, and I fell in love with her from Wednesday. Like, anyone that could look that dead and be so active at the same, like she captured my heart.
God, I hate you.
She was amazing. Like that was like, you know what? I like you. Okay. And so like she playing the little sister, Tara, I think adds to that. That was a nice little baton pass because it has Sydney was the daughter of the mom that's a whore that slept with everyone. And then, I mean, correct me when I'm wrong.
That's great.
Then you have
So
Sam.
wait, are we saying that Sam and Tara's mom's a whore too? Because like unlike Sydney's mom who had multiple children, I mean she did have multiple, but unlike Sydney who actually had multiple and like stuck them all around, like kept them all together, Sam and Tara's mom, as I'm saying, she's just not dead, but she just happened to have 2.
To our knowledge, that's all she had was 2.
I wonder if she's still in one.
Because I bet you Scream 7 is gonna probably be like, oh, I'm the child that was like.
I can't wait. Watch them have a fucking brother.
Because
I bet you Jenna Ortega's gonna have a twin. Bam.
Ooh,
I
her
hope
playing
so.
herself.
I actually hope so. That'd be cool.
I think she can handle
Watching
that.
her be Tara and then watch her be this psycho as well.
Oh, but
it'd be just like Wednesday. Remember how her ancestor type thing?
Yeah, like she could be Wednesday, like the Wednesday-ish character, but as Tara's twin, where she's like the rebellious, I guess, normal kid. I guess. Speaking of which, like being the normal kid.
I like that you say that though because I remember even in the movie, Tara was like, "Am I ever gonna have a normal life, bitch?" And Sam's like, "Ha! We already asked Sydney last movie. Remember? She said no."
And that's what I love about like the way Tara, Jenna Ortega's character, the way she's like, "I'm gonna go out and get underage drunk and hang out with my friends because I'm sick of being like running
she
and."
Age though?
Yeah, she was like in high school or something like that.
Oh, in the 5th one?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you're talking about the 5th one or the 6th one.
Well, no, she's in college now.
But in the 6th one, she's in college, but they never actually say their ages. And even in the 5th one, they don't say if she is like a senior or what she is.
Well, they graduated, because they did talk about going to college next year or whatever. So it's to be assumed they went from high school to college. So at least 2 years, which still makes her a sophomore in college.
True. So she's
which is still underage,
20. Yeah,
technically.
True. Okay.
And I think, if I remember correctly, I think she did make. Sam did make a reference to her like drinking or whatever. But she's like, "I'm not your mom, and I've been out of your life for 20 years or 10 years or something like that."
That was my favorite part when Tara was all like, my favorite one of my favorite parts, I'm not gonna lie, and sorry we're jumping all over like we normally do, but my favorite part, one of them, was when Tara's like, bitch, Sam, you've been gone for like 20 million years. Then I get stabbed 26 times and you come back and now you can't leave?
Because if you ever want to get your family members back, just get stabbed. It's fine.
26 times.
Have a near-death experience and then your family members come running back. Or make lots of money.
That ain't true, bitch. I mean, I fell downstairs. I got this ugly fucking mark. I fell down 10 steps, hit cement. I called my daddy when I was 18, saying I'm going to the hospital because I fell down the stairs. You know what he said? It's okay. They don't need my consent. You're 18 now. Call me in the morning if you're okay.
I mean, you were 18.
I don't care. I called because I was like, I'm dying. Blood was coming from my brain.
See, she was lucky because she wasn't 18, so that's why
So
her
correction,
sister came.
if you were 18 and want your family to get together again, get stabbed.
No, if you're under 18.
Under 18.
Under 18.
Thank you, correction.
Because speaking of which, let's talk about your favorite Chad, one of the twins.
He should be dead. And I don't care what anyone says, this motherfucker should be dead. And someone actually pointed this out on Twitter a couple days ago. Like, one thing I miss about the Scream franchise the most is how legit four stabs. Because it clearly, on where you're stabbing at, it could be a big impact. Only 4 stabs it took, and someone was dying. Now legit, fucking Mason Gooding playing as Chad got stabbed they even said it, 22 fucking times in the 5th movie. One of them, which we know was a main vein in his fucking thigh. One bitch, his girlfriend finds him, leaves him, he's still bleeding out. Clearly, like, it makes no sense. And then again, the motherfucker got stabbed another 22 times and still, honestly, he died with a fucking smile on his face. I was pissed.
I made note of that too, so he's been stabbed a total at this point 40 times, at least. And yet he's always shirtless. He has no scar.
I want to say that's why they kept him on. Why they're like, okay, we're gonna let him live, even though he's alive. Like, I was like, okay, the 5th one, he's okay, fine. But then when they did it again, stabbing him so many times, I was like, okay. And then for him to live again, I was like,
I'm kind of over him being.
I'm very, very over it. I was very irritated, like at that point. Like, I love the whole, him and Tara getting together, having this romantic relationship. They've known each other forever. In a way.
Are they a couple?
They are now.
Well,
Because in the 6th one, they're literally kissing and Ghostface stabs Tara in the back.
Yeah, I know, but like, were they like a couple or were they just
that was
like...
that was the beginning of it, being like, hey, like they're flirting, and then Tara even says, you should have made your move, literally, bro, a long time ago. And he was like, yeah, I should have made my move a long time ago. But that goes back to
what we were saying too about people don't care if you're over 18, because I'm pretty sure they even said like he was like 18 because he was a senior in high school when when he debuted with the sister, the twin. Played by
Mindy, which is played by Jasmine Brown.
Jasmine, thank you. So when him and Jasmine are the twins, they're like, so it says they're 18, I think in the 5th one. But when he gets stabbed, his family didn't come run other than his sister.
Nobody did.
So if you're 18 and under in the Scream franchise, that's when the family comes.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
That's when people care. Because even honestly,
hold on, this just clicked in my head because they introduce and they show us their mom in the 5th movie. Yes. And at the ending of I'm sorry, they're still in Woodsboro. Why was their mom not at the end? Like, not at the end with the ambulance, like, where are my babies? Like, I just thought about
they're over 18. Look about it.
But I just thought about that. Like, why? She literally should have been there, like, at least on the side. Like, the parents. But no, she was nowhere to be seen.
That is a Scream franchise. Like I said, if you're 18 and older, your parents and your family don't give a fuck about you. 18 and under, like Jenna Ortega's character, when she gets stabbed from the beginning of 5, Mom was there, sister comes back from fucking God knows where, and so...
Talking about that though, the stabbing of Jenna Ortega, there is a scene, and I love it because it's just consistency, and it should be there, so you would think it would be there, but we've all seen movies where they're like, oh, just an example, it hasn't really happened, but an example, they forgot Harry Potter's lightning bolt. So for instance, like
that's
an example, that's my example.
Okay.
Because there has been other shows, like for instance, there's a show called The Originals and Legacies. And in one of them, the main character, her name's Haley, she's literally got a crescent moon as a birthmark. And throughout the season, like, they show her repeatedly, and like they always make sure to have it, but there's a few episodes where they legit forget to put the birthmark in. And they're even talking about it on top of it, so it's like, wait, So that's what I'm saying. Like, so one of the things I really enjoyed was there was a part in the 6th movie where you see Jenna's hands and you see a giant like scar.
Oh, the scar from
the scar through her hand because
yeah,
she did get stabbed through her hand. So like I saw that and I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
cool. Like, okay.
And I do love Scream's consistency for that, because even with Dewey, like he always had a limp because he got shot in the whole
Right.
life. So, like,
They even make fun of him in one of them, like,
Yeah,
why are you
exactly.
walking like that? And he's like, when you get stabbed so many times or
Exactly.
something.
And then like he finally dies in 5. He died in 5, right?
Mhm.
So it's 5th when he dies, which is like, and I don't know the true tea on it, but I think it has something to do with like him and Courtney Cox like being divorced or getting divorced kind of thing. I'm pretty sure that's what the whole thing was, but I'm not sure. Someone will look it up and correct us.
It's kind of funny. I didn't even know that they were actually a real thing in real life until he told me all about it. I was like, what? I thought they were just, it was all fake movie stuff. Like,
Yeah, they're
didn't
married
think they
and-
actually fell for each other, which
Her
I shouldn't
name-
be surprised because that does happen a
Well,
lot.
it's like when we were talking about Mr. and Mrs. Smith, how Brad Pitt and Angelina got together.
yeah,
So it's pretty
We
much like
still gotta do that
Scream.
movie.
We did. Really? You want-
Anyway, go on.
Yeah. But Scream was kind of like the birth of like Courtney Cox Arquette. Yeah, Arquette, who's David Arquette. Wow, there we go, words. David Arquette and Courtney Cox, they made an item and they got married. They were married for a few years. And then I don't know if they got the... Oh, now it's about it? Really? That wasn't even the sound this time. It was just-
Go on, keep talking.
Oh, I'm talking, but it's not about what I'm supposed to be. What was I saying?
It's getting hot. I live in Florida. It's getting hot.
And also for good audio, we gotta make sure the AC is off.
So that's why it's getting hot.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
But,
professional. Sir.
Anyway, so
Be
go
professional.
on. What's your point?
Where was I going?
Exactly. Anyway.
Oh, I think they got rid of Dewey because of their divorce. I believe they got divorced around the time they were making Scream 5. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was the thing. It might have been a year or two
True at
beforehand.
all.
I believe, because when did they get divorced?
I honestly think they divorced back in 4.
I think they were still together in 4.
I don't believe
Well,
so.
are you talking movie line?
No,
or
I'm
are you
talking
real life?
I'm talking about
Okay.
real life.
Like, I will say,
Because
like,
after you told me, I did look in, like, I looked into it. They weren't married. After, like, legit, like,
Yeah.
yes, they met in the movies, but, like, in
They
real
were
life,
dating and everything.
they weren't, like, they dated a while, but in real
Yeah.
life, their marriage wasn't that long at all.
Yeah, I'm not surprised it's Hollywood, so yeah, not many Hollywood majors.
But, and then last and not least, I just want to put this name out there. We have the most beautiful from Heroes, and I Love You, Beth Cooper, Hayden Panettiere. This bitch has been
love
missing
her.
from our screens for so many years.
And case in point, she is the Dewey replacement. Like,
She's
you
not,
know-
though.
Well, I mean, she's like, so if you think about it, so there's so Dewey for Scream 1 through 5 was the.
Because I mean, I do know what you're saying because
Yeah.
because Kirby even makes a whole fucking statement saying being a legacy character doesn't have to be a bad thing.
like, literally.
She legit makes
Yeah.
that point.
And I think that's what I like because like it transitions because you have Randy's niece and nephew who are the twins. They're Randy, who was the movie nerd in 1 and 2, and then but his rules still live on 3 through 6.
Yeah, so you can honestly say 1 through 3 because
Yeah.
he does make an appearance in
Yeah, the
3.
little
it's
video.
just he's on video,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's
so
true.
yeah.
And he does the same thing in 5 or 6. So this is why I said there's gonna be spoilers because we start to mix them all up. But there's I think it was 5. No, it was 5 when she was watching her dad or her.
Yeah, it was like when
Randy,
she was watching Stab and she
Yeah,
was like,
and-
"Look behind you, Randy!
behind-
You made these rules!" And then she's like, "Huh?"
Exactly. And then she's like, wait a second. Kind of that's the funny thing I love about 5. Like that's probably my favorite part of 5. I know we're talking about 6, but 5 leads into it. Calm down, calm down. So like in 5, she's like, look behind you. You're stupid. Look behind you. And she's like, wait, let me look behind me. Basically, it's like, oh shit.
It's just
She
funny how,
moves.
but the only reason I enjoy that part so much is because us as human beings, we do shit like that. Like, we'll be watching something or doing something, like, oh, and then, like, for some reason, it will, like, hit us, like, maybe I should just look behind me just quick. Even though I know
Exactly.
legit there's nothing behind me, but, like, maybe I should just check just to
Because you
be on
never
the safe
know.
side.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair. And so now we can actually talk about the movie.
Sorry.
I will honestly say that the movie was the pacing. It was a Scream movie. Like that's the best. Like so from the beginning, so you have like the two that are like kind of fanboys and like have no relation to any of the characters, and like we're doing this for Jack, James, John. What was the one in 5? That
You
was...
really lost me. What are you talking about?
So the two killers at the beginning.
Are we talking of the 6th movie
Yes,
from the college?
correct.
Okay, what about them?
What was their relation to anyone?
The only relation, okay, so I'm just gonna point this out. The only relation is that they were in college with Tara. But now the reason why I'm laughing is because even Tara, because like when it comes on the news that they were killed, Tara's like, Sam's like, we're leaving, and Tara's like, whoa, 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 it's New York, everyone dies here, it could not be related to us. Like, it really could not be related to us. And then she's like, Mindy, Chad, and they're like, it's a little close, and then Tara's like, fuck you guys. Like,
he's like, if I get to live a normal life outside of Woodsboro and fucking like move on, yeah, nope, not so much. Surprise, motherfucker, yeah. So, and that's how we start. We start with the kill, just like we always do in Scream. And it's a professor of these two college kids who happen to be Tara's classmates, and they do the whole Ghostface gimmick. And we see them like going after this professor, who one of the students actually happens to be the killer for that part. I'm not spoiling anything. Calm down. It's only the first 5 minutes. Anyway, so she dies. Whatever, that happens. Going through the movie, completely forget about them. Like, you legit forget about them because they end up getting killed anyway. But then, like, going through, then you realize,
and honestly, the only reason
shit.
you remember them is because they keep bringing them up in the story.
But they don't bring them up until like towards the end.
So, no, I'm saying they bring it up twice. They bring it up when they're in the police station.
Oh, well, there's like, well,
that's what I'm saying. So, like,
kill,
so it happens, and then, you know, obviously, time goes on, shit happens, they're investigating, they bring it up in the police station, and then the endings when we figure out the main.
And even when they bring it up in the police station, it was, oh, you were classmates with them. Did you know these guys? Or
still, though,
like,
but that was the whole
okay.
connection thing. That was the whole thing.
So it was like just to kind of remind you, like, oh yeah, by the way, these guys were characters. Because honestly, when they brought up in the police station, I forgot this. I was like, wait, who died? And I was like, oh wait, there were 3 killings.
Also, just because we're talking about killings, I'm going to point out in this one there was 5 killers compared to our typical 2.
Well, actually, if you want to be
you're 3, and
if you go, I can't count them though.
You can though.
Well, see, if that's the case, then in the first streams you have to count the other ones too.
What do you mean?
Gail's a killer, Sydney's a killer.
No, they're all doing it in defense. These people are literally going out killing. Like, okay, yes, we only see them do 1 kill, yes.
Yeah, and
but the way we're talking, or the way they're talking, it's clear they've done it before. They have done it to others. Like the one guy, yes, this was his first kill because he even says, "Tell me about it."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, "What'd you feel?" or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So in a way, so like it wasn't self-defense. It wasn't him like anything. It was just him doing it because he did it. That was actually one thing that kind of made me mad too. So I saw Scream 6 twice, and what really annoyed me, to be honest, was so in the beginning of the movie, the professor is talking to her date. Sorry, spoilers. Talking to her date, and it's literally her student. And I actually asked Quinton about this, and he made a very valid fact, which I didn't think of, but I was like, wouldn't she have known her student's voice, like from asking questions or like talk to him about projects and stuff like that? Because it's not until she does something that he switches to Ghostface, and it's a totally different voice. And Q had told me that, well, if he doesn't talk, or maybe he doesn't talk enough for her to remember the voice, which again did not click when I was thinking of this. But like that was the one big thing that popped in my head, like, wait, this is a student that's in a film class, so I feel like there'd be a lot of talking either way.
Well, just like, you know,
but that was the one thing that like blew my mind too. Sorry, that was the one thing that blew my mind was how it was a normal human voice and then it switched to Ghostface. It wasn't Ghostface starting with the conversation. And make lots of sense.
And honestly, and speaking of switching voices, I like, and you made a reference to it too about they went back to the old voice changer that he used like in the first like years.
So I have ADHD and I don't pay attention to anything, but when I do find something interesting, I do pay attention. It's called hyper-focusing pay attention. And bitch, let me tell you, we had a marathon from the first one to the 5th one pretty much. And each one they have, at least I want to say the first 2, they have the same Ghostface fucking contraption thing. The 3rd one, I want to say because it's like Hollywood style, they have this new silk shiny one that just, I think in my opinion is the best one.
And it has like 6 different voices
Legit.
on it that you can do. So
and then
stupid.
in the 4th and 5th one, or then the 4th one, they have one that's not all nice and shiny, but that's different than the first 2. And then it's in the 5th one, and then the 6th one, they go back to like the original.
Which that's what I have a problem with, and that's why I brought that up.
Or no, my bad. In the 4th one, I think they used their cell phones, because remember she was like, you don't have the app to change your voice. You don't have that.
Which that's what kind of made me mad. It's like, we're in the 6th one now, which obviously we're not going back in time. We're continuing with like a time frame. We're in the 2000s, we're in the 2020s, so forth and so on. And they don't have the app in the 6th one, but they have in the fucking 4th one?
Well, and I'm not gonna lie, in my thought, and so this is just me being me, in my thought, like, okay, And I mean, it makes no sense to be honest. But in my thought was
With you, it never does.
fuck you. In my thought, they're in New York now. So in my thought, I was like, it's New York. I mean, yes, this app is heard of. It's a known thing.
Yeah.
It came out when it was big back in 2011, which was when Scream 4 happened.
Okay.
Because it takes place in actual that year too as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I can understand that. Like, okay, back in 2011, this app was big. It was crazy. Now we're in 2023. They're in New York. That app's probably legit just nothing now. Like.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the app still exists. Matter of fact, well, you look at, well, we'll do.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah. So we'll look
I'm not
at
gonna.
that.
I told him like we should have got Scream Mask, and I was contemplating on buying a voice changer, and I was totally gonna go all out for this. But
I wanted to wear a bathrobe, and he's like, "No, we're not wearing bathrobes. It's too
not for
difficult."
Scream.
I feel like you have to for Scream.
Well, no,
Like,
I feel
what
like
else
if it
would
was
you
maybe
wear
the
a bathrobe?
first Scream, because in this first Stab movie she's wearing a bathrobe, but like in the rest of them they're not wearing bathrobes.
However, there are moments and times, and throughout the movies, even in
Should we do a
6, where
Playboy video and pretend we're Hugh Hefner's like wearing the robes, and we can just review like.
is there a Playboy movie? I mean, we're gonna watch porn.
There's a documentary.
So we're gonna do a documentary on porn now?
It's just Playboy.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, have like, the screen like back here that's gonna be like.
Exactly. So
things
just show.
going on.
Just show.
Just show. Yeah, that'll totally work. But yeah, so throughout the movie, and honestly, like he watched it twice. I watched it once. He's a bigger Scream fan than I am. I will say, other than the beginning and the end, nothing mattered to me at least. And like there was nothing that kept me invested in the movie to where I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Oh my goodness, like, okay, here are your new characters. Here's why they relate to each other. Here you are. Like in the movie, there was no like in the middle. There was nothing to connect it. There's nothing that made sense to me. It was just all over the
I
place.
agree. I'm not gonna lie. The middle of the movie was literally just fill-in.
Yeah,
That's
it really
all
was.
it was. It was like
really
because like in my opinion, like I feel like it was just fill-in, and I feel like in my opinion, they should have gave Kirby more of a bigger role.
Agreed.
Like yes, I understand it was to bring her in because I can't say the word. Nagasha.
Nostalgia.
Thank you.
I was like, wait, what are you trying to say?
I can't say that word.
I'm glad I speak Emjay because otherwise I'll be here for hours trying to think.
But yeah, like they even say like, oh yeah, the legacy characters are brought back in because of that reason.
Right.
But no, like I feel like yes, Kirby's in the FBI now. Like yes, she did make some big points when she was on screen, but I feel like legit for the middle part, like for everything they showed us, they could have stopped for like a good chunk of it and just focused on Kirby being like, oh,
Agreed.
like they literally could have gave us more of a backbone or more of a backstory. Like, okay, all we found out in the movie is like, yes, she got stabbed from the fourth one. She did die for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
She got back, she came back, and then the whole reason why she joined the FBI was because she didn't want to be scared. But they don't tell us, like, and it's like, oh, like, they don't tell us, like, what she did after.
And that's where I
pretty much,
feel
if
like,
that makes
and
sense.
that's where I feel like you can tell that the director's changed.
My bad.
Sorry for that loud pop you just heard. But I will say, like, you can tell that the director's changed because when Wes Craven directed the Scream movies, he kind of had every character had a moment to shine. Like, you knew about Dewey, you knew about Gail, you knew about Sidney, you knew about Loomis, you knew, like, every character had moments.
Even the characters that got killed off right away, too.
Yeah,
like,
you felt
like
invested.
Sidney's roommate. Like, they made it a big point to have her stay in at least until the middle of the movie, and then they offed her. Not even the middle, until almost the ending of the movie, and then they offed her.
They were saying they're like Randy, and then like Randy's like the nobody character, like, oh, he's going to, but he like he was a comic relief, but he didn't die until the second one. Even then, it was halfway through, so you still were invested in him as well. With the fifth and sixth one, I feel like, okay, here are new characters, we need to throw them at you so much, but you're just giving so much filler that I'm not invested in these new characters. Like Sam and Tara, where I love Jenna Ortega, and I think she does a great job as Tara, and Sam and Melissa does a great job at playing Sam, but it focused so much on them that I didn't care about anyone that got killed at all. And so again, we told you at the beginning, this is gonna be spoilers.
Yeah.
So the brother and sister of the previous killer, we were not expecting it. It was supposed to be the shock twist, but it was like,
and I'm not gonna like. So when she said, "Oh, my brother died last year," and all that, I liked how that.
Which-
I'm not gonna lie, it did throw me off because I was like, oh wait, because then I was like right away, like I thought of the main person from the last movie. I was like, oh bro, but she's just saying it was a car accident, like it was this and that, blah 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 blah. Like right away, I kind of put the story together. But then when and I'm not gonna lie, I guess it was kind of a good idea, but at the same time it wasn't. When they threw in this other brother that technically like we don't even find out about anything about him until literally the end of the fucking movie. It was like we could have just gone without him. Like they could have literally just kept the roommate, the other person, and then the reason why they're doing it, and still kept it as, I'm not gonna lie, it could have honestly just been 2 Ghostface killers, so it didn't have to be the third.
I mean, honestly,
the third was trying to be a twist, like
I mean, they were
it
good with the dad and the daughter, like that worked, like that was a good twist because we see her die.
Right. Oh my god, that blew my mind.
That was great.
What?
That was amazing.
I shed a tear because she was kind of my favorite throughout the 6th movie.
And I also feel like that's a character that they did what we were just talking about, where they built her like she had her moments, she popped in, you know, like and everything, like she was relevant, kind of. Right. But then like when she dies, like, you actually felt something for her.
Oh my god, and the whole fact when she even says it, she's like, well, I had to die to get off the suspect list. Like,
exactly. And I love, and we'll give screen credit, they always make fun of themselves and point out things that they do and everything, and I love the way they do that, 100%. So I love that part, but like you said, the brother / boyfriend, like he was so irrelevant. Like he was, they
literally could have done this whole movie without him.
Like dad and daughter, that's all you really needed, because the dad had his relevant roles and everything.
And like him actually being that person made sense.
Yeah, exactly.
It made so much sense.
It really did. And it was like, because I even said that to you, I was like, wait, like, because, I mean, it's in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler, but you see the collage of all the Scream, the ghost mask and everything, like, all the different, like, shrines to him.
Which was really cool.
That was really cool. And I even said to you, like, when we were watching, I'm like, the only way to have gotten that was to have been, you know, in a higher up, so like in the police force, and then because Kirby came back too, and I was like, in order to have got that stuff, you had to been a cop or something, and so as it plays out, it's like, I called it, I saw it, but I did not see the daughter part coming.
I just thought of this, that knife was so dirty.
It's supposed to be.
No, but I'm just saying, I just remembered for some reason, I was like, oh my god, I had blood and everything, like old dry blood from back in 1997.
Exactly.
Like, I just thought hit me like right now, like, oh my god, like even if they live, like diseased, they're dead.
Yeah,
they're dead
exactly. Which again goes back to what we were talking about with fucking Chad. And well, actually no, some of them shouldn't have blood because they did the signature screen thing with the swipe, which I don't know why, but
okay. Talking about that signature screen thing. So there is a part where Chad is getting killed, which again he should have been dead to begin with. Facts. But he's getting chilled. I'm feeling my wine. He's getting killed, and the way like the ghost faces, just I'm gonna say this word wrong probably, but the symmetry was like how they stood next to each other.
Yes.
Poof, like at the same time. I was like, oh.
I popped for that moment.
Literally,
I legit popped for that moment.
I got goosebumps. I was like, oh my god, they're so in sync.
And I hate the fact that it wasn't until the 6th one, oh actually 5th and 6th one, that they actually made it a thing.
Because they start doing it.
Well, they've done it in the other ones, but it wasn't as
I think in the first one, the only time you really see it happen.
They're doing all of them.
Well, no, I'm saying, but like the main time where I feel like it's a matter, like a point type thing.
Oh, because it does it slow?
Yeah. Was the original one, because after he kills Cece, that's the very first time we ever see him do that.
The swipe, yeah, that's the swipe.
And then after that, like, I mean, they do it, but it's a quick swipe and then they go to stab again. But like in the 6th one and the 5th one, they brought it, like, they legit made it clear, like, wait, no, this is a statement, like, boom, absolutely next victim, not, oh, gotta clean my knife. It's literally, once you clean that blade, who's next?
Which goes back to what you're saying about the dry blood on the older knives from the shrine that they have. There shouldn't be any blood on it.
Right. But at the same time, no, there would be, because if you think about it, the knife that they use is Billy Loomis's knife.
Yes.
The last person that got stabbed with that knife was Billy himself.
Oh, true, because Sydney's
the one that stabbed him,
and she didn't wipe it, obviously.
And then after that, it's followed by the bullet to the head. She never once cleaned off the knife like Sam did in the 5th one. Sydney breaks the one fucking rule. The one fucking rule. The number one rule. Don't lose your virginity. The bitch lost it at the ending of the movie before she killed them all.
Was that the number one rule though? Or was that just
that? No, that was literally Randy's first thing is like, don't have sex.
And speaking of
Randy, then she has sex and then she kills them all and she's still living. She broke the one rule.
Speaking of Randy and his rules, you were talking
about my god, Randy and his rules. So, in the 3rd movie, Randy is legit about to tell us about what a franchise is, and he's like, wait, it doesn't matter. It's not a franchise. Because then he gets killed. And I'm pissed because now Mindy comes in trying to explain it. And you know what? I don't believe her. I don't trust her at all. She was wrong twice about who the killer was. Not once, twice. And she even said it herself.
Well, not really though, because she was right about the first, was the fifth one when she was talking about, the boyfriends or the girlfriends, you can't trust them, like they're always a suspect. She was right at the beginning.
But Randy said that too though. She was just copying what he said.
And they were both right, because they were both the boyfriends.
Like I said, I trust Randy, but then he died and he never explained the rules. So now I don't trust Mindy, and I'm just mad because Randy should have been the original one that explained what a fucking franchise was.
No, you have to, again, that's the pass-off I was talking about. No. You have to have the pass-off of the character. And it makes it, their pass-off makes sense too, because you have Mindy, who is Randy's niece, so it makes sense. And the twin we could kind of do without, but
Chad should be dead. But
I understand why. I don't say if they kill him off and let the Mindy survive.
Yes.
Like I feel like
she'd go so far.
She would become like, she would almost be the she would be the Sydney basically. Like they can transfer her to make her the Sydney because like her brother, she could be, hell, she could be the Billy Loomis. She could be the killer. Like honestly, like her brothers died, and the reason why her brother died is because of all these other bitches' ex issues that they have. Think about it, because
true.
have.
I ain't gonna lie, her girlfriend's death in this movie,
so good.
Legit was the most gruesome out of all of them. Hers was the fucking from the fucking stabbing to the face plant, bro. Like, oh my god, my god.
Oh, so beautiful.
Talking about Billy. Oh wait, were you done? I'm sorry. Go on.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Okay, but talking about Billy
A.D.D.
Loomis, who is a Ghostface. I do love, and this is what really got my attention about Scream 6 Ghostface is this motherfucker, Ghostface, he don't give a fuck about the movies anymore. He's done. He's over it. Those stab movies, he thinks you tarnished his reputation, and he is over it.
Well, the thing is, how can he tarnish his reputation when it's a new person every movie?
Well, I mean, in reality, it's not, though. It's the same actor.
By the way, Ghostface...
I feel like we should have mentioned his name.
He is the main. I mean, yeah, we absolutely should. I know you have it pulled up or looked at or whatever.
Keep going.
But yeah, like, so Ghostface, who has been the same character throughout the movies, the directors have changed, the lead person has changed. Gale and Ghostface has been the same person since the first one, and I feel like, honestly, they are what's keeping the franchise alive, and they're carrying it. And I think this is Ghostface's last one, I believe. I think I read or saw something that this is last one. I can't remember.
Roger L. Jackson.
Yes.
He has been our Ghostface ever since Scream 1 in, I think it was 1996. So yes, Ghostface does not give a fuck about the movies. He's over it, he's done, like, he's moving on. But now it just blew my mind because if you think about it, going back all the way to Scream 1, the original movie, it always had something to do with movies. One of Stu's lines, even in the first one, was watch a few movies, take a few notes, boom, you're a killer. Billy even says something along the lines as movies don't make killers, killers make movies. Something like that.
And it is true. And we're not advocating for watching movies and going and killing people. Please don't kill people. Stop killing people. Don't kill people. Please don't kill people. But you're right, like the way it makes fun of itself and it says the rules of the movies, but they go against the rules in all the movies, honestly.
They do.
And I kind of do love that about the Scream franchise. And with that being said, speaking of Scream franchises, which one was your favorite? How would you rank them? As 1 through 6?
My all-time favorite is Scream 4.
So Scream 4 is your number 1?
Scream 4 is number 1 because, just my opinion, Emma Roberts, Jill Roberts, oh, what a coincidence. She is the most crazy Ghostface that we've ever gotten. We watch her kick her own ass. Literally, oh, she's done. The bitch sees the table. I ain't done yet. Guess what? Bam! Again.
Yeah, true.
So yes, Scream 4 is my favorite just because she is the most insane Ghostface we got. So I want to say it would be Scream 4, followed by Scream 2, honestly Scream 3, because Scream 3 is a comedy to me, and you need to laugh every now and then. And then Scream 5 and Scream 6. So Scream 6 is actually still the last one in my roster, yes. Wow. It was really good. I did like it. I did enjoy it, but it's just, for me, it's nothing new. Because in the same time, I mean, yes, it's called something else, but at the same time, it's still a remake. It's still pretty much a reboot.
True.
And they're still using the same storyline. Like, for instance, Scream 1 was what we had with Scream 5. Scream 2, they went to college, and they explain this all in Scream 6 too.
True.
Scream 6, they're in college, so
I
that's
honestly felt like Scream 6 was more of a Scream 1. Because, I mean, even the, like, from the killer point of view to everything, like, everything just flowed the same way
that
with
were
it.
definitely more intense. Mindy did not lie. They were totally more intense and more crazy, which I was here for.
True. If I had to rank them, I would put Scream 1 as my number 1. Scream 6. Scream 4. 2, 3, and 5.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I love the reason why it goes Scream 4 and then 1 and 2 is because I'm not gonna lie, every time Gail is reaching from the ground trying to get back on stage and she scares the fuck out of Cotton, I still jump. It scares me too. And then he's like, damn, you got like 9 lives? And like, it's always just been a joke in my head, like, this bitch has been shot how many times, stabbed how many times? She is still going. She
And
really
also
dies.
punched as well.
And punched. Oh my god, yes! And then we got the whole... And I'm not gonna lie, how they did that scene was great. Like, I love how she's all like, "Oop, you thought so," and then she forgot.
Done this before. It's like, wait, she forgot. Like, bam! I was like, yes.
It was great. Tara is still the best. This bitch steals a cop car. She is still the best character in my opinion.
Agreed. She is fun. I absolutely like Jenna Ortega is amazing. So with that being said, with our rankings and like our favorite parts, how would you rank this movie from a ding or a dong?
It is a ding ding.
Just 2 dings?
I mean, I do 7, but you told me you hate editing them, so just 2.
True. It's honestly a dong for me. I feel like it's good, but it's not worth really seeing.
You're gonna wait for it to watch it streaming, to be honest.
Facts. With that being said, that was a rank for the movies. If you want to watch it, you can, but it's not something that I would recommend.
But make sure you do see the 7th one.
In 2026. On that note, I've been Quinton. He's been MJ. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Awkward Ding Dongs.
Ding dong.